Third phase of moon. Third phase.
Third Phaseman Blake Cousins with some breaking news just in. Is it possible that our government, the Pentagon, is about to tell us that they've recovered an extraterrestrial craft? Well, here's a report coming in from Tucker Carlson. Listen up.
There are new findings tonight in the search for extraterrestrial life. The New York Times reporting that a secretive Pentagon unit tasked with investigating UFO sightings is quite likely releasing some of its findings soon.
Is disclosure about to happen? We've got the panel. Richard Giordano's with us. We got Doc Skinner, and we also have expert behind the exopolitics of it all, Michael Salla. We also have Paula Asteria from Los Angeles, and we're going to go to the UK and get Elian Addict's opinion as well. Now listen more to what Tucker has to say.
And those findings could be stunning, particularly for people who have doubted the existence. The Pentagon has been conducting classified hearings on UFOs for more than a decade. We know very little about what they've found.
The panel has arrived. We're going to get to them in just a bit, but here is the main news of the day. Possibly recovered extraterrestrial vehicles off-world, not from this planet. It's hard to believe, but listen.
But apparently, just recovered are off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. That's a direct quote. We're not exactly sure what they mean by that, but some of it's self-evident. So it's a big story, and we are scouring through the reporting on it right now. We'll bring you much more.
All right, let's get to it. We've got Dr. Michael Salla with us right now. Michael, what's your thoughts on this breaking news coming in?
Tucker Carlson was discussing an article that was published by the New York Times on Thursday night by Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Kane that was focusing on a scientist, Dr. Eric Davis, who reported that he had given briefings to members of Congress and to the Pentagon about off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. So that's a story that was picked up and then published by other major outlets such as Popular Mechanics, the Huffington Post, and it's really making a lot of airwaves today. And this is really groundbreaking information. I mean, for many people who have been dismissing reports of UFOs for decades now as just tinfoil hat territory, now they're being confronted with this new reality that not only are UFOs real, but that the Pentagon and corporations have gotten their hands on some of these craft and that they have been studying them in top secret corporate facilities and reverse engineering them.
All right, let's take it out to Arizona. Richard Giordano from Goof on Radio. Your thoughts on this breaking news coming in from Tucker, and what's it all about? Is the Pentagon about to disclose?
Wow, guys, I can't believe what I just heard from Tucker Carlson. Didn't he just say that we have in our possession off-planet, off-world materials? Did I hear this correctly? Because if that's true and Tucker Carlson just said that, then everything that you and I know in ufology in the world is about to change. This could be the beginning of disclosure. To me, I'd never thought those words would come out of my mouth, but they just did.
Let's take it out to Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions. He's got some insight. He's super excited about what this new development is all about.
Oh my gosh, all I can say is I am just bursting with joy right now. I mean, if we weren't worried about copyrights, I would be playing like Celebration, Cool in the Gang, Bob Marley's Redemption Song, the Rocky theme soundtrack right now, because that's how I'm feeling. This is so huge. I mean, epic huge. Now we know. Now, a lot of us are in the know that, this isn't the first time that they've collected, as they said, off-world craft. This is just because everybody knows about Roswell and how they retracted all that. Okay, here we have this, but we haven't heard anything of a retraction. Let's hope we don't. This is just, oh my gosh, this is just amazing because it's full admittance, is that how you say it? They're admitting that they did this and that they captured off-world craft, quote unquote. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Let's take it out to the UK. Alien addict Ollie has some statements. Ollie, what do you think of this new developing news?
Now, the three pieces of footage that we already have, I think they're really compelling. I know there's a lot of people that have questions behind them, but I don't see any of the debunks that have already debunked them still debunking them to this day, because the Pentagon has come out and said that these are actual UFOs. Unidentified, mind, but they don't know what they are. And I'm pretty sure at the Pentagon they've got the best debunkers working there to say, you know what, throw that away, that's nothing. But yet you've still got the debunkers that have debunked these pieces of footage as being nothing more than jets, or a jet with one engine out. I think we need an apology from these debunkers, personally. But I will say this. If what we're going to get is another piece of gimbal footage where we can't really make out what the object is, I don't know how happy I would be with that. I feel we need more. I feel we need at least a colour piece, you know, a full-fledged flying saucer, you know, a craft. I want to see the detail on it. I don't know if we're going to get that, but if we do get a spacecraft, if they say we've got a spacecraft, these are pictures of it, and it's old or whatever, you know, it's not from here, I'll be celebrating.
Brett, I want to get your thoughts. What do you think of this breaking news development in regards to the Pentagon maybe releasing evidence of off-world vehicles recovered by our own government?
Could this be it, guys? Is this what we're waiting for? I know governments from around the world may be doing soft little leak disclosures, but this one could be the big deal. What we're hearing right now is something coming in from the Pentagon that's saying something that really means we are not alone. What are they going to say? What are they going to show us? Could this be a secret Space Force program development? What in the world is going on? This is some of the biggest news we've heard since we started Third Phase of Moon, so we're super excited right here, and we're going to share it right now.
But apparently, just recovered are off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. That's a direct quote. We're not exactly sure what they mean by that.
Now, according to Eric Davis, he was privy to a conversation in 2002 with a former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, Admiral Thomas Wilson, who actually looked into a particular corporation that had control over a UFO-related project that was reverse engineering this technology. And what Wilson learned was that this was an extraterrestrial craft. So this was something that Wilson tried to get access to back in 1997 when he first learned about this, but he was denied access by this corporation. And by 2002, when he had this conversation with Dr. Davis, he was trying to learn from Dr. Davis, who at the time was working at an Austin, Texas-based company called EarthTech, involved in advanced aerospace technology research, that whether Davis had come across any information about this. Because essentially what Wilson was wanting to do was to learn as much as he could, because he and the top officials in the Defense Intelligence Agency were out of the loop.
And those findings could be stunning, particularly for people who have doubted the existence. The Pentagon has been conducting classified hearings on UFOs for more than a decade. We know very little about what they've found.
Only if they stick to their guns. I don't want this story to take a right turn now and say, well, it is off-world material, but it's just rocks, or they're funny-looking rocks, or we thought it was off-world material, but it just happens to be something of ours. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that this is technology from Russia or Japan, China, whoever. All I want is alien technology to be shown. That's next, nothing else. You want to tell us that you have off-world technology? Prove it.
Now, could this be one of the steps in the soft disclosure to transition us into this next phase of our evolution with new technology that has been held from the public for decades. I mean, this craft, now granted, they said off-world. So what if, when they say off-world, they mean, well, you know, it wasn't built on Earth. Maybe it was built in orbit. Who knows? We have the stories of the secret space program and other countries that could be up there working. We're working to nail those stories down and find those facts out. But this right here is epic.
Yeah, I've been interested in this subject for so long now, and it finally seems like I'm going to get some answers. The problem is, I don't know if it's the right time right now. I think the human race has been through so much this year, and then just to open up that can of disclosure on us and say, there you go, guys, we're not alone in the universe. We have an alien craft in our hands. I mean, maybe it is the right time. It just seems so strange to do it now, but I'll take it. I've been waiting for years for this day, but I've got questions.
So that's quite remarkable that you have these top officials in the Defense Intelligence Agency and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And we have the sitting director and deputy director of the DIA and the Joint Chiefs of Staff being cut out of the loop on this UFO-related project that was being run by a corporation. Now, according to what Davis heard, the corporation had been secretly studying this technology that had been gained from an alien crash, but hadn't made any great breakthroughs. That progress was very, very slow, and they don't know, or they didn't know when they would be able to actually reverse engineer all of this. Now that runs contrary to what we've been told by many dozens or even hundreds of insiders and whistleblowers who say that these reverse engineering programs have been happening for many decades and they've been successful, that you actually have had a secret space program built using some of these reverse engineered craft. In one of my recent books, the US Air Force Secret Space Program, I go over the history of these reverse engineering efforts and actually mention Admiral Wilson and the reverse engineering that the Air Force has been involved in for many decades now.
Wow, this is some incredible news. I can't believe they just came out and said that they uncovered off-world vehicles. I mean, this is crazy. First, I want to say that obviously us in the UFO community have known that UFOs have been real for a long time and aliens have been real for a long time. But it's crazy to me that actually during the pandemic, I believe it was a month or so ago, they actually came out and said that UFOs and aliens are real on the news. Like, the government basically just announced this. And it's crazy to me that people aren't taking it as insane news. Like, you would think it would be covered like how if a bomb went off somewhere. But instead, I just have people randomly coming up to me, like friends of mine, like, they said on the radio that aliens are real. Wow, you were right about this, weren't you? And it's like, okay, is it because of the pandemic that we aren't talking about this? Or is it taking a while to kind of settle in people's minds? Is it just some unbelievable news that is going to take a while for people to register it? I don't know. But they just said that they uncovered off-world vehicles. This is crazy. And I mean, personally, I believe that our government has had off-world vehicles since the early 40s. I mean, I think that we've actually been backwards engineering off-world vehicles since the early 40s, maybe even the late 30s. So this makes me wonder, what are these they're about to show? Is it something that they actually recovered years ago, decades ago, and they're just now bringing it out?
It would make sense that now, right now, with the way things have been over the last couple of months, that they would want us back in our homes watching TV every day about the next best thing that just happened to our civilization. Maybe what just happened the last few months was a test on our society as a planet, not only our country, but to see if we could follow orders, to see if we will stay inside if there's a threat from outside. I think this is something that is going to blow up the world in a good way. This may be the beginning of disclosure. We'll find out soon.
I cannot wait to see the next report on this from Tucker Carlson, and God bless him for putting this out there, because wow, just everybody just bask in this for a moment, okay? Winning. This is a complete win. So many believers, experiencers, ufologists, and researchers, we all need to celebrate. I mean, this is decades and decades and decades for some, researching and trying to educate people on this and dealing with the ridicule and loss of friends and family, because, you know, they think that we're all crackpots. But that's why I said redemption. This is such a good day. I have just been on cloud nine since I got this video. So, bask in this, everyone. Bask in it. Just be grateful that we have this moment, and especially in a time with the world the way it is right now. So this is amazing news. Please let everyone know. Share this video here on Third Phase of Moon with just everyone. I mean, not even people you know, just everyone. Spam it out there, because this is huge. And let's just hope that it's the beginning of a continuation of disclosure. So I'm on cloud nine.
So this is a very important breakthrough. Millions of people now are waking up to a new reality. This has been a seismic shift, not so much for people who have been up to speed on the UFO material for a long time now, but for those working professionals, whether we're talking about university professors, journalists, members of Congress, staffers, think tanks, people working in the military, who have dismissed the whole UFO phenomenon as nonsense and tinfoil hat territory, are now being confronted with the fact that this is real. Reverse engineering has been going on some of these recovered craft, and that they are of non-earthly origin. So the big question is, well, has the reverse engineering been successful or not? According to the New York Times story, we basically are going to be fed this narrative that they have not been successful. But according to the insiders I've been working with, the reverse engineering efforts have been successful. So this is really a very important breakthrough, and we're going to see some remarkable stories come out in the weeks ahead about more on what has been secretly happening in corporate facilities, and a lot of the mainstream media are going to be digging deeper and deeper into this.
I'm really excited to hear what this is. Like I said, I do think that, we've had this information for a while, so I think this is part of the soft disclosure program that our government has. And when I say that, what I mean by soft disclosure program is obviously a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle the news of if our government just straight out said we are working with extraterrestrials.
Here's the questions I want answers to. Number 1, where did it come from? Number 2, how long we had it for? And number 3, are we using the technology today that this craft has? Is it a craft? Or is it just parts of a craft? And I wonder if what Bob Lazar said is true, that one of the crafts at S4 was actually dug up from an archaeological dig. Maybe this is the craft that they're talking about. Ronald Reagan said he wondered how quickly our differences would go away if we had a threat from outside this world. It was something along them lines from the lad. Great speech. Fantastic speech. Yeah. I don't think I could ever pull anything off like that. But I wonder if the threat... I don't think the threat's going to be the aliens. I think if one country maybe says, hey, we've got an extraterrestrial craft and it has got the technology to go, so many light years in so many hours, or instantly move from point A to point B, and it can split the atom with its laser beams. I think there's going to be one country that might get a bit of a bee in their bonnet over that and want that technology, and I hope that's not the case. So we should all listen to Ronald Reagan and become one and be a little bit nicer to each other. But yeah, it's exciting times we live in. These UFOs are all of a sudden just not going to be... they're going to be identified. They're not going to be unidentified.
I want to thank everybody from around the world who just joined us in this late breaking news in regards to the Pentagon and possible recovery of off-world vehicles. You heard it, off-world vehicles. It is incredible news right now. Share this link with your friends. Tell them third phase of moon just broke the internet because things are about to go big time. We can't wait till what the Pentagon has to say. Are we going to be seeing extraterrestrial craft in the near future, or is this some kind of government way of doing soft disclosure but not getting to the point that we need to get it at? Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. Be safe. We'll see you real soon. Blake Cousins.
Third.